Hey folks, Tim here, FT Lot for the Love of Trains. Thanks for watching and welcome back. It's been a little while. I have been working on some things here, mostly to do with my DCC system, the Digitrax system. And I have the Super Empire Builder and Super Chief system. Hopefully running, one runs the bottom and the one will run the top level. But my problem was I would start running a few engines, more than just one or two, and it would short out my system. And it's been a long time trying to figure it out, and it's been so discouraging and frustrating that I got to the point a couple weeks ago where I just thought, I'm just going to hang it up and try something different, you know. I know that's not right, but it was very frustrating. But anyways, talking with Dave at Digitrax, working with him over the course of a couple of days, we tried to troubleshoot my system, and you know, being a new system that I just laid down, I was really hoping that, you know, everything should be pretty bulletproof and there shouldn't be many problems. So I knew the problem had to be with the Digitrax system, and we went through everything, I measured everything, and we figured out what the problem was. So I'll give you a shot to see what was happening here and show you what I did to fix it. So let's get right to it. Okay, so on the layout in this consist I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 engines, and they're all non-sound engines. I have 3 other sound engines on the track plus 3 other regular non-sound engines as well. So but this is what happens every time I run it. This would start to short out on me when I would run multiple engines. And so there's the problem I would have. And the booster would shut down and give me this alarm. Okay, so as you can see, this has been extremely frustrating with me. The layout runs fine when you only have maybe 2 engines on there, maybe 3, but then once you start consisting engines together and getting larger trains going, it would always go for a while and then short out. And I've talked to Dave at Digitrax, and we tried to work it out over the last 6 to 8 months to figure out what it was. And then I ended up buying one thing that helped me a lot was this from DCC Specialties, these ramp meters. Those are really nice, and like I said, they're well worth their money for troubleshooting. And what I did was I hooked it up in series from the booster and then to the track, so I could measure how many amps I was drawing. And when I was running 3 or 4 engines, I was only drawing maybe 1.5 amps, and so my 5 amp system should have been able to handle this. And as you can see, it just kind of pooped out there. So with Dave from Digitrax, we've worked on a whole bunch of different things, and he finally got me to check on measuring the actual transformer, the power supplies. And so what I did was where they plugged into the Digitrax system, I put in my voltmeter there and measured the voltage, and lo and behold, I have 2 systems, and both of my power supplies have gone bad. So it would go for a while, and then all of a sudden, you know, I'd have 15 volts, and then it would drop down to about 8. And so that's what's happening, is that system is alarming it, saying, hey, we don't have a power to generate for all these engines you have on there. So being that it was a 5 amp system and I was only pulling 1.5 maybe, this turned out to be the problem. And why both of them went bad, I have no idea. And unfortunately, this isn't something that can be, you know, taken apart and worked on or sent back to them. So what I did was I ended up buying a different power supply, and I'll show you that now. Okay, there it is. It's a Digitrax 20 amp power supply. Now, obviously I'm only going to be using 10 of the 20 available amps, but I have room for future expansion, and you know, my layout's pretty decent sized, and I definitely need to have the 2 systems, I feel, to run, so I can put 5 amps on the bottom level and then 5 amps eventually on the top. So this one's a lot bigger than I was expecting. It fits in there, I'll show you, but it's a big system, but it sure makes things work a lot nicer. Okay, that's the system in there. And the nice thing is it does have a DC amp meter right built in right there, so I can watch and see how many amps I'm drawing. And it's not digital by any means, but it gives you a ballpark idea of what you're doing. Okay, now I'm running those same 8 engines with that new power supply, and from the analog DC readout I'm looking at about maybe 3 amps drawn for those 8 engines. I gotta say, it sure has redeemed my love of trains again now that I've got that new power supply. Okay, kind of frustrating, but nonetheless happy to have it solved finally. Both of my PS515s had gone bad. I don't know what was in there that had blown or what, but it just couldn't handle keeping the constant voltage, and it would somehow drop back down to below acceptable levels. And I did check with Digitrax to see, you know, when I was talking with the service guy Dave there, you know, what will they do for us, you know, because, you know, to have them both go out like that, that's kind of a major deal. But since both of my systems I bought, you know, 3 and 4 years ago, you know, it's not warranted past 1 year or whatever their standard warranty. So unfortunately they didn't do anything for me as far as helping me get into my new power supply, but nonetheless the problem is solved, and now I can get back to enjoying model railroading again. Alright folks, that's basically what it was. It turned out to be both power supplies that had gone bad, and talk about a frustrating situation. So if anybody else out there has had something like this go on, or is experiencing this type of a problem, that's probably what it is. It's your power supply that has gone bad. So I don't know, but hopefully this new one, it's got way more power, and hopefully it should be able to run a lot more trains. Apparently it is working a lot better, because like I say, I'm running 8 trains now, all consisted together, and it seems to be doing just fine, only pulling maybe 3 amps. So I have plenty more juice to go, so I can run lots of trains on my bottom level and on the top. So now that that's settled, I'm going to finalize some track work down here on the bottom level, and I will start building on the top. So in the next couple of videos you'll probably see me start working on figuring out my helix and getting that started to go, and some of my other upper level areas. Probably that peninsula over there too. I might start on that as well. So look for some more videos from me coming up, and as always, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. So until the next time, I'm out.